The thought disconfirming learning experience using clickers, on the other hand, would be the fact that lecturers spend 5 or 10 minutes distributing clickers to all the students. Now that takes a lot of precious time. This is a problem because some units, we do not have enough time to complete all the material in a given time, and the use of clickers actually hampers the delivery of the lecture.
It takes time for the students who doesn't own a clicker in Monash, Malaysia, to collect the clickers from the lecturer and also returning back. And if for some reason a student comes late and have to collect the clicker, it would create some disruption to the class.
It wastes a lot of time. Every time a class starts, if your class have more than 100 students, we need to line up and queue up and get our own clickers.
And it was a bit of a hassle. And you had to keep track of the clicker. It's just it's just sometimes you just forget.
We value clickers a lot because it's not the lecturer's possession and it's not the student's possession. So there was once when he was giving out the clicker, we miscounted it. It actually took us 45 minutes to actually realize that we miscounted how many clickers that we used.
The bad part about clickers is student will have to own a clicker device, which is, I would say, very costly. It's either student own it or the school will have to provide every time there's a clicker session.
You need to purchase or to have a clicker. So not everyone could afford to buy a clicker.
I would recommend the school to consider a loan program for clickers. Students will pay a deposit. They can use the clickers for a semester and they'll have to return the clickers to get back their deposit. This will encourage them to use clickers without buying it, because as I've heard, buying a clicker is pretty expensive. And if students were forced to buy their own clickers, they may not actually use the system at all.
Less of flexibility to answer the question because I only stuck to like A, B or so, A, B, C or A, B, C, D. Depends on like how many choices the lecturer poses the questions. And if I'm not sure what's the answer, I can just simply click without thinking.
The fact that the answers are skewed to only a few options. Some questions don't need to be open-ended. However, if there is the need to create an open-ended question, that can be just straight up asked to the class if it's required. Now, clickers are not able to provide input to open-ended questions.